Hello everybody, it's Leala and Beau.
Hello.
Welcome back to my channel. We're here to talk about Diane Planet 999,
Diane
episode
Planet.
9.
Episode 9,
Goo, goo,
Diane.
goo. Episode
Diane, episode Diane.
Diane, episode Diane.
Girls, Planet Diane, 999.
Squid Planet, Diane.
Planet.
Squid Game.
Let's not pull that into this. Crossing
There
over.
are parallels.
There are, yeah. Can't believe you watched that show. Horrible.
It was really good.
Scary.
It's not scary.
It's scary.
Okay. Shall we get into it?
Diane, yes, let's Diane.
Okay. So this episode was sort of a filler episode. There's no performances.
I love the Diane twins, by the way.
I know, me too. There was no performances or anything, so this was
there were performances.
Oh, that's right. There were performances. No formal performances. So it was a bit of a filler episode, which we were actually looking forward to.
Yes.
I will say, did I get what I wanted? No. But still.
Way too short.
Way too short?
Hour and a half. Yeah, no, we're talking, we were talking about
I just don't think the filler content gave me what I was really looking for, what I was hungering for.
Maybe if they had a little bit more. They could have had a part where they wrote letters to each other and cried. We didn't get to see any crying.
Right?
I mean, you know, that kind of crying.
We had some of the creation mission preparation, particularly the moving around of members from teams. We talked a little bit about that last time, so we can talk then about like who moved and what happened there. And then each team had a team activity for the day, and they got to randomly choose a bus and then go on their activities. Okay, and then at the very end, they played some field day games. So
right, that
played
was
some Squid Games.
Filmed before the last elimination. Yeah.
You ready to get into the teams?
Sure.
Okay. First, we have Team Diane.
Team Variety.
The snake team. This team is one that had too many members, so they had 2 members leave and go to another team, which was Soo-yeon and Young-eun, which I'm totally fine with him going to the other team. I think Young-eun will actually shine in that other team.
I don't want to see Young-eun doing sexy stuff. Or Hikaru. But she's
or
okay.
Diane.
Or Diane.
But we have the snake team. They're actually really strong, and I didn't realize until like the second time watching it that Diane's the only Korean member in this team now.
Yeah, she would have been one of 3 if they hadn't left. So you got 5 Chinese,
one Japanese,
1 Korean. So that's
this is C Group's team.
C Group is very powerful.
They're very powerful. It's a top 9 and a C Group team.
In fact, I think C Group came across even more. I think probably the most powerful of all the groups in this whole show.
I think so.
I think they were a little bit handicapped by the language barrier for some of them, but almost all of them speak. Well, not all, but a lot of them. All these 5 here, I believe, speak Korean, or at least some Korean.
They enough to get by. They don't seem like they've had too much problems.
This
with
is
it,
a very.
really.
I think this is. I kind of like that it concentrated the most popular Chinese members because people will be able to see how they are as a group in case.
And it just happens to suit all of them. The song just happens to suit this team and the members really well, I think. So
it's very possible 4 of those minus Kai Bing might make it into at least past the next cut. So that's a very powerful lineup. So anyway, they were.
And then with Diane in the leadership position, we didn't really talk about it last time, but they were again trying to make Kai Bing seem like a terrible leader, and they.
I think she doesn't speak any Korean almost at all.
Yeah, she was having a little bit
really, you can tell how much more relaxed, for example, a Wonju or Surichi is, where they speak, even Fuyang.
They're confident in it, regardless of we don't know how good they are at it, but they seem confident in doing it, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But for their team activity, they got on a bus and went to a farm. So they did a farm day and went and picked sweet potatoes, which was really funny.
All these activities.
Wonju, because she's the variety queen.
Of course, she's amazing.
Kept the mood up and kept everything moving.
And all these activities each team did were all activities that you've seen in some K-pop. This is a classic K-pop thing. Put them in a slightly uncomfortable position. Have them act goofy in funny clothes. Have them burst out into song. Mentions of constipation. The usual K-pop.
Fuyaning. Savage.
Points right to Hikaru.
Savage. Girl, you'd had your redemption arc, and then you just call the Hikaru out like that. That was savage.
Fuyanin is the Yujin of this group. You know, Yujin was the troublemaker. Kind of the people gave Yujin a hard time. I can't believe I heard that years ago, or a couple years ago, whenever I was into Aizuan, where they were like, people say that Yujin's, fans had a hard time with her because
they thought she was mean or something. It was really weird.
How,
she wasn't, but that's a whole different thing.
That's how friends make fun of them. But anyway, they. What I thought was funny about this is it was the most physically kind of uncomfortable one. Well, yeah, pretty much. And you feel awkward and stuff like that, and they still managed to pull off a funny thing. The most uncomfortable part was having to perform a sexy dance in front of old people and children.
Right? So they had them after they got done helping the farmers.
That was probably the hardest thing to do.
Pick the sweet potatoes. They had to go and perform for the locals, which is all grandmothers.
Grandma, put your hands up.
When just grandma, put your hands up. So they were like, "Oh, we're gonna do our song Snake," and they like doing this, just like, and they were all scandalized.
At one point,
all the grandmas were like, "Why are they calling themselves snakes?"
At one point, one girl is choking the other girl. I was like, "Dear God."
And it did not go over well. It went over to silence. So they went back and then did a trot song for the old people, and
and trot is great.
They enjoyed it more and had some fun with it. The old people.
I just think
it was pretty awkward. It was really awkward.
This little farm here probably gets an idol or two groups a year every 6 months. Right. I'm like, here they come. Hey, Scott, you want to go put them on the sweet potatoes? Yeah. But like how he kept saying, just this girl. He would say that he learned their names a bit, but then he was like, this girl, like this girl. And so anyway, Wenjia won the sweet potato contest because we were talking about, she's won every little silly thing
extracurricular
except
contest
for popularity contest. She was runner-up.
But she was runner-up. But every other extracurricular, the modeling, the dance competition when they were acting really silly in the beginning, this sweet potato one, most popularity, and she also. It was really interesting to see them because again, the members of all these teams aren't really like close to each other yet. We kind of forget how fast this is all moving, so they're not super comfortable with one another or close, but she did really good to try to keep the energy up and try to make sure that they were always doing something that would be fun to watch because they were just like getting into like picking the peppers or whatever. And she was like, you guys, you can't just stand there and pick the pepper. You need to like do something. So she was like, act like it's a commercial. And then they sang some songs. She understands the assignment. Wenjia understands the assignment. She understands what being an idol is. She's our variety queen, and I love her for that.
And I like how he's like, when you guys win, if you do well, we'll get you some snacks, and you expect like bags of chips. No, they got like home cooked meals, which is fine. We got potatoes.
Man,
but,
those sweet potatoes look good.
They were actually probably the hungriest after all this, and then they see the other team getting steak and stuff.
Yeah,
so it was good. That was. We've been talking about it for a while. This show is probably honestly moving twice as fast as a 48.
Fast.
I want to say, though, I think that's probably due to limitations because of COVID, staffing limitations, and time. They're wanting to get it over quick, get this group going. They need some money. Everybody's hurting right now. So I think it isn't designed to move fast. My hope is that they have a lot of extra stuff that maybe later they'll put out.
We were very excited about the idea of a filler episode and the fun stuff. And I get what they're doing
here
because these are lots of like content activities that debuted groups do. I still kind of miss the classics of like the shout and silence game and like charades, spin around and try not to fall over that they did and produce that were just really simple but are always just great. The best like crack afterwards that's just really funny.
Maybe they'll add something.
Like I was still just kind of wanting the classics, a scare thing like that kind of stuff. I miss a little bit, but Anything else on Snake Team and their adventures?
I felt the worst for him performing in front of a bunch of old people, but it's sexy dance. But at the same time, it is a training session saying you might sometimes have to perform when you're uncomfortable or you don't feel good or you're in these baggy, dorky clothes, like dressed like farmers and whatever. And it was great. Yeah, but anything Wenjia is my favorite thing.
Yeah.
I love her.
Comedy gold.
Yeah.
The shoot team, on the other hand, They're a team that didn't have any members coming or going
stayed the
from
same.
the other teams. They were all originally had been in this team, and they just lost enough members to bring them down to the number that they needed. So it was the same. And they also smartly all just kept the role that they had previously and been practicing. Just so they're already ahead of everyone else in the game for their practices, which I thought was really actually very smart.
Well, they agreed to it.
And they agreed to it. And Eugen
I think if
is
somebody
leader
else
and
wanted to change, they
main
probably
vocal.
would have swapped it around a
Right.
bit. Eugen would have let them.
But yeah,
Somebody was making a point, we were talking about this the other day, where Baya,
Baya.
I love her name, by the way, it's just hard to say sometimes, is getting all these votes. And to be fair to her, I don't think she's getting an unreasonable out of, she's still lower, and but either way, a fan of hers was in a comment section saying, I love her to death, but she needs to realize that she's got automatic support for a certain percentage. She needs to start trying to do something different. But in this group, Eugen's like, who wants to do what? And everybody's like, you do everything, Eugen. It's like, you can't really do that at this point. So it wasn't just by it, but I agree with what they're saying. Like, at this point, you can't stand around and just not push for something. And none of them really try to do anything. Like, Manami and Xianwei have a little bit of an excuse because their Korean's their second language and barely even is a second language. And so they have a hard time, so they're kind of play it safe. But these others, I feel like this team, well, I think they're trying to edit it to make it look like Eugen is doing a good potential first lead vocal. And I like how she threw in, with little training, you could be the main vocal, because they know Bora might not make it. Maybe she threw that out there because of that. But I think that this might bite this team in the butt, that they're not doing enough to really, the rest of the girls are not, they're just kind of doing safe stuff. So I think it might come out they're not going to win.
I think in the end the performance will be fine. I think they'll do good. I don't think there's any reason to think it wouldn't be good. But it's true that after someone had mentioned that, is that we haven't talked much about Baye because there hasn't been much to say. She hasn't ever gone out for center, I don't think. She's never gone out for main vocal.
Yeah,
she's got good vocals. They showed a very short clip of the shoot team practicing, and she was singing her part.
Yeah,
she sounds good. She sounds good. But she never really tries out for anything. She seems to just kind of melt into the background, and I don't know if that's nerves or she's not happy to be there, or she's just shyer than we thought.
Maya, for example, Maya
Maya
sings better than Maya, but Maya
doesn't have the fear.
She has been in the front. She goes out. She does whatever people ask them. Granted, maybe that's her kid, her child,
charm,
whatever. Won Young was kind of that way. She's like, whatever you want to do, I'll do. She's always been really professional in that way, but it's a bit of childish naivete. Maybe it's just kind of like, whatever. I'm having fun playing dress up or whatever. The older girls do not need to let someone Maya's age and talent level overshadow them. And granted, it could be editing and stuff, but I think if there was something going on there where if the girls were pushing and doing something more, that would make its way into the...
I think it would, because it makes good content.
Because there's nothing else going on here.
They just haven't good...
Anyway, so what did they do?
Their team activity, they got on their little bus, and I guess they were told they were going to go meet a fan. So they went to this apartment, and they went in to meet what they were told was a fan. So there's this lady, woman.
Younger than us, probably.
She's probably our age. Maybe older than us, I don't know. And she was like, oh, hi. And she seemed kind of shyish about it. And I was like, this is a fan? I was like, that's cool. I love it, Adult fans, we're fans.
I thought it was smarter to pick an adult fan because she would.
And I was like, so they're going to go meet this fan. So they talked to her, and it was a little bit awkward. And they sit down in her apartment. And she's like, I do know you guys, and I am a fan, but I'm one of the contestants' moms. And they were like, what? And then it's Diane's mom. They went to Diane's house, and that's her mom. But the team that went to Diane's house didn't have Diane in it. So it was just a random... So shoot team got to go to Diane's house to talk about how amazing Diane is.
Yeah. To look at her bedroom and stuff.
To look at her room and write her letters and talk to her mom. They performed the song for her mom, which was cute. And then I guess her parents own a restaurant, so that afterwards they went to have dinner at the restaurant that her family owns. But it just really, it's cute. On the second time watching it, I was like, oh, it's not so bad. It's cute. Yeah. But the first time I was this is painfully awkward. Why have you done this?
I just felt it was a bit confusing more than awkward. But my question is, and this is what we're talking about earlier, is was it really, because they said choose a bus and get on it. Was bus number 4, number 3, or whatever? Number 3 is going to the mountains. This one's going to... if it was random, what if Diane would have wound up seeing her mom? They would have just had a cute segment. Better. But at the same time, people would be like, why are you... Instead, Diane got twice the coverage. She got this. She stole all their segments.
She was the main character of Snake Team because she's the leader, and everyone needed to talk about her, about how she was a good leader. And then she's the main character of this team's adventure, and where they go to her house and talk about her and call her and go on a phone call and stuff. So all these girls had to be the side character to this one person, and she looked like pretty shocked that she didn't know what was happening and stuff. And I just feel like if Mnet wanted to do this, they should have just sent her there and like had the cute moment with her seeing her mother and introducing her teammates to her mom in her house, because they might become friends later and they might end up working together in a group. It would have been way better to just send Diane to her mom's house as a surprise.
What would have been the ultimate solution is have this team, all the teams do the activity, picking potatoes, climbing the mountain, whatever, and then one of each member gets a call from a mom, and maybe it's a different
like some
culture
sort of reward or something.
Or just a surprising stuff for each group of 4.
I get their intention with having a sweet moment with the parents of one of the members,
but it was just weird.
If I'm remembering correctly, and if I'm not misremembering this, they did this with Yenna on Produce. Towards the end, they went to her house and they showed her parents. They talked about how she was sick as a child, and she got all this like storyline about like her personal life, and it made you love her. And they can't do it with every girl, of course, but and that's pushing really hard for Diane now, because I think they are panicking after having realized that they set the show up early on to really highlight a lot of the C and J group trainees as being standouts, and they're now owning the ranking for top 9. And they always wanted Diane to have the center part or to be up there in the top 9, but she never got there because she didn't have screen time at the first part. And then from the point where she did, when we saw her leading ice cream team, and it was just, this became the Diane show, Diane Planet 999. They're spending so much time. It's just it's obvious favoritism. I say that I'm not mad about it. I'm an adult. I'm not mad at her. I'm not mad at Mnet about it or anything. She's very charming, and so is her mom. Yeah. I think she's adorable. I think she will be a great girl group member, whether it's this group or another group, whatever. I agree. Yeah. She's a cute baby face. She's not shy or anything. She's good. It's so plain. It would have been obvious what they're doing, and that it's a little bit like, what?
I was thinking about it, and I was thinking it'd be like if she was out in the field and Wonja goes away while the 6 of them are doing their 2 teams picking the peppers, and Wonja comes back and she's wearing some of Diane's clothes. And Diane goes, "Why are you wearing my clothes?" And Wonja's like, we just wanted to see your. This is what I love your fashion. So I went to your house and they sent me some of your clothes. Like, okay, like what the hell is this? Why are you wearing my clothes? It was just strange. Like she's like, wait, that's my mom.
She's like, are you guys at my house? And they were like, yeah, we're at your house. And she was like,
going through my drawers and stuff. Like, what are you creeps doing in my house? Not only that, you robbing my mom. Like, and my mom's gonna feed you now. It's just this funny. It was just a strange. I didn't think it was...
It had a strange vibe.
I just don't think it was planned out, or something about it didn't go how they thought it would go or something, but her mom was very cute, sweet, of course. It does give you points, but every one of these people probably have
a cute and sweet, lovely mom
that I would love to meet them all.
See.
But that's why I said they should have had everybody just did their activities, and then one person in the group, maybe they have a little bit of a story. They say, hey, your brother wants to call you, or
I'll say too,
or whatever. Just they get one call, and not every girl, but one girl.
Learning a little bit about the candidates, like a little bit about them as a person and their life and their family and stuff, like has a lot of value in these shows. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually love it. I'd love to see more about learning about these people that we're going to get to know over time or whatever. Yeah. Even with Treasure, like there was a lot of time spent on that about their families and stuff as part of as you were getting to know them in Treasure Box and stuff. So like I don't resent that they did that, because it's good content. I just think it seemed really rushed and a bit odd. But anyway, that's all I have to say about
I think that it reminded me...
The poor shoot team having to beat her backup dancers or something.
And also, it also made me think, I'm glad Snake didn't have to go meet this poor woman and have her watch, grinding in her
No, but that
apartment.
would have been her daughter's team. She would have been
right,
like, "Honey,
right.
what do you do?" That actually might have
That
been
might have-
comedy gold.
Right, Mom, I
if
can't- she put
she
some
did
clothes
that, if she went to her mom's house and did the snake dance, and her mom being like, "Oh my God, I'm so scandalized!" Like that actually also would have been
who
content
knows?
gold. Like if you wanted to do this, there's no reason they shouldn't have just sent Diane to see her mom.
Like, Eiswan
there was
went
no
to-
reason for them to do it this way.
Eiswan
This
went to
didn't work.
Hitomi's parents' house
to
after they
meet
already
Hitomi's
grouped.
family. Yes.
It is an example of how you highlight a member without it being all about the member. And this kind of worked that way a little bit until you realize, wait, but she's not even at her mom's house. So now you're doubly thinking about this person. And it's also, according to a lot of comments, Korean comments supposedly, a lot of people are mad at Diane.
They're put off
saying,
by
no,
it a
this
bit.
has nothing to do with her.
I'm not.
If you liked her and wanted to vote for her, continue to vote for her. If she wasn't one of your girls, just don't vote for her. But yeah, it was just kind of awkward. But what are you going to do?
Yeah. Okay. That's shoot team. And then there was u+me equals love team who
This
got
is my least favorite. Probably.
decimated by the eliminations. Like they were completely had so many people leave. They only had 4 left. They had 3 members come to this team, which was Soohyun, Youngoon, and Shauna,
yeah.
who was originally on the Utopia team. So they rebuilt this team in a way that I think is actually good. Now they have Youngoon for main vocal. I think she's going to do main vocal, and she's amazing main vocal. And Mashiro. So I think the teams overall are really balanced and look really good.
I like the team.
And I'm glad that we've broken up that top 9 click into all these teams. I'm like really into the teams and in the songs too. I'm really looking forward to them being on Spotify.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna listen to every one of these songs. They sound so good.
They do sound good. Modern too.
They sound really good. I really am excited. This team had a bit of an odd day, but anyway,
I hated what they did.
They were like, "We're gonna give you a luxurious day." Was the theme of their team's day. So they went instead of just to like get a massage or go to a spa. Like they should have like gone to a spa and got their nails done and got a pedicure and like done a facial and stuff like that. Instead they went to a chiropractor,
which is bad. It's dangerous. It's a horrible thing to do.
It was just
get a massage if you have an
weird.
ache. You don't have
so
to go
we
to
watched them crack all these girls' necks.
So bad.
And it looked like horrible. Like oh my God, terrifying. I had to like watch to cover my eyes. It was more traumatizing than Squid Game.
Every year,
these girls' necks.
I've read about every year. There's a lot of bad stuff that happens with chiropractor.
I don't know anything about it, but I know
a lot about it. It's not good.
Scary. I was like, it's so weird.
Just get a massage. They should have just given a massage. The cracking has nothing to do with anything. I'm not going to go into rage about it, but just get a massage. That does have benefits because
of course,
deep tissue.
Or like do a spa day and like a girl's spa day.
And so they had to all sit down and first of all, it looked like a doctor's office.
It looked like a doctor's office.
Which, by the way, a chiropractor's not a medical doctor. Anyway, don't get me started. But that's not making you comfortable at all.
No,
as soon as we get shots.
So...
What's her name said? Are we getting surgery? And it's like, this is not fun.
It looked like a hospital, and they go through the clips of it pretty quickly. So, but if you like look at the surroundings, it's so awkward. Why did you go to a hospital?
That does make sense, though. They were being tortured this whole time. And then they get the best meal and stuff. Well, basically.
And then afterwards, they got to have a really fancy dinner. They went to a fancy steak dinner, so they had at a fancy restaurant. And then at the end of it, they went up to the top of the building of the restaurant, and you do this thing where you can get on this bridge, and you're up 118 stories.
No, meters. So
stories.
No, I thought. Oh yeah, 118th story. You're right. Yeah, and it was.
And you can go on this bridge and like overlook the city. So they were scared of. Mashiro was very scared of heights, so she was like crying the whole time. Poor thing.
She did it though.
Terrified, and then sang and danced on the bridge, and it was like that's cute. That's the kind of stuff. Again, this is the kind of variety content they have idols do. Is like, we're gonna go on a scary thing if you're scared of heights, and we're gonna challenge you to do something like that or whatever. So
they really had the most uncomfortable physically maybe one. Getting their necks. That's not fun. It's just horrible. It can really hurt you. And then doing this thing on a bridge where you might throw up into your mic.
I know they just ate. They just ate, and then you had them go over. I'm like, is she gonna hurl? Like, what is going on? What is going on, Mnet? What is going on?
I think they're having to quickly put together some of the shows.
They
having
really
to do them
put this together
limited
quickly.
budget and safely. If you know there's no people around, which they wouldn't have anyway because they're idols, but. They have to do something kind of. I think it's fine. I just imagine that there was a lot of stuff they didn't show, so maybe some of that'll come out later.
Yeah, it all went really quickly. Like it showed like less than a minute of them having dinner, and like and they called the snake team who were eating potatoes with farmers, and they were having a fancy dinner. So that was a funny moment.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was,
It was an attempt, but
It
I
was
still
an attempt. It wasn't my
enjoy
favorite.
the variety of content. I just think that it came on so fast because they hadn't done other variety stuff. It's like all of a sudden you're doing variety stuff, and it's like, oh geez, we only have so many days to practice this song that we've got to win with. So
They
it was a
must
little
be
bit.
exhausted.
Oh, I'm sure. What's her the contestant who was kicked off? The Chinese contestant.
She wasn't kicked off. She left.
No,
no, you
the
mean
one
someone else.
Yeah, we don't remember. She wasn't very popular. She was saying that, they said, do you sleep? Are you able to sleep at night? She said, you pass out immediately because you practice from like 10 in the morning to 10 at night or
Yeah,
8
it's
to
a
10
lot.
or
They
something.
must be really
Oh,
exhausted,
they're working their
honestly.
tails off.
Okay.
Tails off. Yeah, for sure.
The final team was Utopia team. This was a 6-person team that they stole one of the members away from and had to go down to 5. So Shauna left this team.
Okay, I needed you smart persons, including you, needed to explain this to me.
What?
They originally had 5, and then they stole somebody.
No, they had 6. This was a 6-person song.
Right.
And so they said, well, we're going to change it to be a 5-person
Because somebody
song.
left.
Because we need to give the other person to the u+me because it needs more members.
Oh, so they were going to give a person, but the other team needed. So because what's her name left.
Right, because that other song needs more members than this one does. So they changed this from being a 6-person to a 5-person
Well, then why
song.
didn't they pull somebody from Eugen's team? She had
Because this song, I think it was easier for them to rearrange it for 5
I don't know.
members.
I just didn't understand why they was chosen.
I think it's actually fine that it was
me too.
rearranged
I
for
think
5 members.
I think it's better.
And I think this is going to be the best song of all of them. And I'm going to say it now that Utopia team's going to win. Like,
I'd like it, but I don't know. I
they
honestly don't know.
They look like they're going to sound amazing. You can hear in the background when they were doing their activities, they were playing the song because they did a little dance on this hill. We'll talk about what they did. And it sounded like they'd already been in the studio and
recorded
recorded.
their track.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Bora.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Bora's
This
a
song.
killer, man.
Oh my God.
She's an assassin.
It's going to be so good.
She's a mother in what's it called? The nightgown assassin. She has nightgowns.
Bora
Wears nightgowns.
Nightgowns. They show her.
My mom wears
They show the
nightgowns.
dorms, and like everyone's in their pajamas or whatever.
Cute shorts or
Bora
something.
wears like nightgowns, like a prairie princess. Like
she's a
what
Disney princess. Yeah.
Like she's the cutest thing in the whole
Yeah,
world.
she's very pure. But
oh my God.
I think
Anyway.
that their voices all match together well.
Oh, they're
going
gonna
to
be beautiful. It's gonna be great.
My question is, are we going to see them in the studio like in 48? They would go into the
hope
studio. That was a whole
so,
segment of every show too.
please.
Like they would
The
fight over who was
recording.
doing. That was a dramatic part too. When Yuri, the famous clip when Yuri's like, "It's even too high for Nako." That
Yeah.
I want moments like that. I have
Maybe
a
next
feeling
time.
because this next performance episode will only be 4 songs.
Yes.
Let's say 40 minutes. If it's 10 minutes per song, that's a long time. They have another hour maybe to tack onto that. So I'm wondering if they're going to show
I think so.
more of that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, and maybe that fan day. We'll talk about that at the
Yeah,
end. I guess.
we'll talk about that in a minute.
We're speaking of Bora singing. The fan
Their
day.
activity was they went hiking and they went and got some snacks and then went on a hike, and then at the top of the hill of the hike it was where you jump off and do paragliding. Lots of groups have done this activity too, and it was really cute.
Now I want you to notice though. We've seen Eyes One and
Yeah,
who is
Treasure.
it? Treasure do this. They didn't walk up the hill. They rode a
Right,
car up the hill.
right.
These
They
girls
made
walked
them
up,
walk
the
up the hill.
Again, probably after
Poor
eating.
things were exhausted.
They took a little break. They had a cute little moment talking about, oh, this will be like we're
had some
helping. Yeah, and
snacks.
had some healthy snacks of ice cream and chips and stuff.
Yeah.
Got to the top and performed a little bit in the jumpsuits, which was really kind of
Right,
funny.
yeah.
And then flew off, and it worked well. But that was each one of these represents kind of a different kind of K-pop content. You
Yeah.
have funny, you have touching like this, you have cringeworthy, and you have like painful or what you have all
Yeah.
these different types. And this one was the inspirational, sparkly letters appear on the screen.
Yeah.
Like pretty music's in the background. Look at these. They say something like, "Look, they look like fairies flying in the air." Or something, it's something cute, and that's what this was, which was fine because this is a team of angel fairies anyway.
Yeah.
and their grandmother in her nightgown, man. She's such a nerd.
I love her so much.
She has the most pale legs,
love
I think, of
this.
anybody, too. Which, again, is because she's
Her and
inside
Chaehyun
working.
are in the running for the most pale person on this entire show. Like, both of them are
It's
transparent.
good then that their voices sound nice together.
Anyway, this was really cute. I'm just really looking forward to this song.
You know, the Myanmar, I see it though
honestly.
too. With Bora, she's able to go up and down, of course, but she has like Chaehyun plus a lot of experience type voice. So those four match.
I think that
Xing Chao
Xing
has
Chao
a bit
actually
of
has a good
lower
voice.
a lower register. So I wanted to sound really
She
nice, like a
like
bassy-
everyone in this group is a good vocalist.
Yeah, yeah.
Like this is a vocal power team.
And there's some
I
very
love
like
it.
they're not all the same. type
I'm
of
so
voice,
excited.
but we'll see.
Utopia for
Watch
the
there be
win.
some drama. They'll be like dun dun dun.
No. Then at the end, after all the activities, they had
It's
a
not a Squid Game, you weirdo.
they had a field day that they tacked on to the end for like 2 minutes. That was recorded before the last eliminations. So it's kind of sad. We have to see all these people that have already left.
It's good. No, it's good for them.
And
They
they-
get extra screen time.
They
you know?
played tug of war, which is one of the Squid Games.
and yes, they killed whoever lost. horribly. What's her name comes out. One of the singer.
Sunmi?
Sunmi comes out with a gun. Is like, sorry. I can't do a gun.
C Group won.
Why couldn't I think of Sunmi?
C Group understands the
Okay, no,
strategy
no.
of tug of war.
They didn't. Japan won.
No, C Group won tug of. Oh wait,
Japan
that's
won.
right.
C Group came in
Oh
second.
right. That's true. The three-way Japan won because they had the male dance coach
No,
at the
no,
end.
no. Hold on.
He
Hold on.
he went back and went to the very end of the rope and then tapped the bell
know.
to make them win.
One
He did
small
it.
dancer guy does not have the strength of win. Fu Yanning, she's a bit stocky. You've got
It's stocky.
no, I'm beautiful girl. I'm just saying she's a bit stocky.
Stocky.
We
Strong.
all thought China was going to win.
No, they won the so
they were also
J
going
Group won
ho ho
and,
like on time.
and then C Group and J Group went up against the other, and C Group won in the end.
J Group won, C Group and K Group went up against, and China came in second.
No, C Group won the tug of war.
Overall, I think J Group won the very first. Won this three-way off.
Because I remember thinking to myself, C Group won the Squid Game. They won the tug of war.
Okay, but remember you just said
You
this
can't
guy,
be-
that guy there rang the bell.
They
J
went
Group.
three-way tug of war. Why are we arguing about this?
Because
There
that's
was
J Group
three-way-
on the right.
There was three-way tug of war, and then there was two-way tug of war.
Right.
C Group won two-way tug of war.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
Japan won three-way.
Let's stop. We've got to stop
Somebody's
about
gonna
the
correct
tug
us.
of war. This is ridiculous.
But I think we thought
But anyway.
C Group would win everything just because they're intimidating. They're like, loud. And fun. C Group really is a powerful group.
And also want to talk about it because they did the relay race, and we talked about how May is the
yeah.
reigning champion of Idol Star Athletic Championship Sprint.
She's fast.
And she lapped those other girls.
Is that not how we discovered May? Kind of.
Yes.
We saw her in a relay
Yeah.
race or just a sprint race.
Yes.
In Idol Champion, which is so
Yes.
fun. I wish they'd bring that back.
She
And-
lapped
and
them,
just
like to the
destroyed.
point where she was just like lightly jogging up there, and they were like halfway across the track. It was really funny.
When your stride is
She's-
a half a mile, you can take 2 steps. She's also, it's hard to, like we were saying,
May.
a tall
I love
person is
it.
hard to run fast. You are super.
But-
There's a lot of body weight to move and stuff.
No, she was great.
She was just killed everybody. This I like that they did this, but I could watch 2 hours of that
Me too.
silly games and
Yeah.
stuff. It's so funny.
But that was the end. I also wanted to mention too. It happened this week. They had a drive-in fan meeting in Korea, where I guess so that you wouldn't like be sitting next to people for a social distance.
Yeah,
so
they've
you
done
drove up, and then they were on this large stage above
With
everyone,
some screens.
and did some sort of like fan meeting type thing, and they did like some songs and dances. They did
an all-star thing.
Helicopter with Eugen and
Fu Yanning.
Fu Yanning.
Yeah, which was of course great.
It was, love it. And then, so Richie did Ice Cream by herself. Some of the shoot team did their song shoot.
Just a
Like, I
little
think
part, yeah.
everyone did like different songs. There was a lot of stuff that they did. And
Yeah,
then
it was really neat.
Bora and Chaehyun did My C, and Bora ate that high note.
Oh, she destroys.
Oh,
if you've never
my
watched,
God.
go.
This
go
is
watch
this is like
Bora
a
singing.
rugged fan cam that I have this picture from that we're watching that I've seen, and it gave me chills. It is a
So-
rugged fan cam, not even like a good
It
recording.
has a horrible quality, and her voice is so loud. It's like piercing,
Oh.
steel, But if
It's
you
so
go and
good.
look this up, you see a lot of video and pictures from people outside of fence and stuff. So and there's professional cameras.
Yeah.
So we're thinking that it's something they're going to tack on
There was-
episode or next episode or
Yeah,
last
there's fan
episode.
cams from people that were actually there. I think they're going to edit this into next episode.
This is a fantasy. This is kind of like a more of the variety content, but in this case, they're going. We just made up dream, team ups that you'd want to see. For example, Bora and Chaehyun, which would be lead vocal and main vocal or whatever. So it was just a fun thing. They're not doing serious hard.
No.
But in Bora's can't do
I'm
anything
really
halfway.
looking
She's just
forward
like, let
to
me nail
that.
this real quick so I can show you how easy. She did all the difficult parts in one run.
Yeah.
And did it fine.
Yes.
She has no in-ear mic in, so she's
No.
not able to hear the stage volume or the track maybe, and she's just nailing it. It's just Bora. She's just doing Bora things, But I like how
So
Chan's
amazing.
voice mixes with her. It sounds really nice.
And then at the very end, they showed us the interim rankings thus far, which is a top 17, and that anything 18 and below will be eliminated. They showed us 18. Everybody that I have
Is this
circled
all the
here.
girls left?
Yeah,
Oh my God. How many is this total? 27, right?
I guess. Unless
Yeah.
I messed up my screenshot. Everyone I have circled in red is below the line for elimination. So Bora, unfortunately, and namely Bora, unfortunately, and surprisingly, Kai Bing, that evil edit they gave her over the last couple weeks really tanked her rating.
Yeah, I mean,
wow, she was top 9, and now she's not even maybe gonna make the cut.
It's not guaranteed. It could have just been people pulling off their vote from her anyway, just from But
Yikes.
yeah, I mean, she knows that too. It might be too late for her, but she'll get in some groups if she doesn't make it. Bora, same thing. She's my one vote, but she doesn't make it. She's got a group.
Yeah.
May, I know the Cherry Bullet people are upset about May a bit, but I'm not a big May fan, so I can't say. Rika, I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't.
I
she
love
hasn't done
Rika.
anything.
She is. I love her completely.
So
but
adorable.
she's never been in top 9 or anything. So I've got to kind of I'm gonna have to let it go.
Now, so what I like to do is look at the ones that they did name in and see which ones could fall and then a Bora could rise up to, because remember they showed the 18, they didn't show 19 and below, so Bora could be 19 or 20. Winja was number 5 or something, so she's safe for now. So there's going to be some movement on the lower end, as there would be. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe two of these lower and ones in red get past the cut, and 2 of the ones on top
Maybe.
drop.
I don't know, man. It's scary at this point.
I'm prepared myself for if she makes it or not. But what I'm asking more is there going to be a lead vocal in this team? If Bora doesn't make it, no. There'll be some good vocalists, but not her level.
We can talk about a bit. So that was the eliminations. This right now is the interim top 9, which was pretty surprising. It's been surprising how much the top 9 has shifted around, kind of at the lower tier throughout the show. It hasn't remained stagnant. We have Shauna in the top 9 for the first time. Shauna, yes,
I have no problems with her at all.
love it.
I've been voting for her for a while.
Shauna, and then Urena going way down to 5.
Urina's got to show something. Just do something different. She
And
just hasn't really stood out.
Dahyun making her debut at rank 2.
Of course.
From not being in the top 9 at all to being rank 2. Being ranked number 1 of K group, above Eugen.
I have a feeling
The Dahyun Planet 999. What is up?
Urena could drop out and Shauna
No.
could drop out.
Nah.
Mashiro, maybe not.
Urena's not going to drop out.
I wouldn't be surprised if
She's not
she's
gonna
going to
drop
fall
out.
down further, possibly.
No.
Okay.
The only ones in danger are these 3.
No, I think it's Shauna. I still think Urena's going to fall more. She hasn't done anything else. They need to give her some.
She was ranked 1 before.
I just don't.
I
don't
think
know.
that's going to carry her. People are like her. She's going to get
But
it.
if this was the final group, I'd be cool with it. I just think it would. There's no chaos.
I'd be
Where's the chaos?
shocked.
Oh,
I'd be
Suruchi's
shocked.
chaotic. That's good. She can make.
Where's
them
the
up.
chaos?
Hikaru chaotic. I want chaos in my
We
group.
care about main vocalists and variety
And
talent in this
and
household.
funny video clips and stuff. But yeah, seriously, I think Shauna could drop down and Bora could rise up into her spot, something like that. There's no Winja in there, so we still have Winja to possibly get in
We
there.
have Shauna main vocalist in this lineup.
And she didn't. It's not. Anyway, yeah. I could see it being a group, but there's just so many good people.
And these are our top 9s as it is right now. And you've picked almost no one that's actually in the top.
Right. That's well, Young's not in Yeso. People are going, what?
Yeah, Youngin and Yeso are really stressing me out.
So
not being
Richie.
in the top 9.
So Richie.
They're really that's really stressing me out.
I got Hikaru and So Richie. Those are both in the top 9.
Well, you have hardly anyone. I really need younger
So you're just
than
voting with
Yeso.
everybody else, aren't you, Leela?
No, I'm voting with my brain, but also, with my heart.
I don't see a Bora in your top 9.
Because I don't think she's going to
Divorce
make it into
time.
Here's my feelings about Bora. I was thinking about this earlier. It's that she's never been in the top 9 yet, so I don't know at this point that she's going to make her debut into top 9.
So you're just giving up on her.
I adore her. But because I know that after this ends, it's not like she's going to go away.
She'd
She's
always
going
go
to
back to the old boyfriend when she could get a new boyfriend with
she's
more
going to
money.
go back to a group
and
that
get
has the potential now to get more attention than they ever had before.
Oh, of course.
And that Cherry Bullock's going to get a great comeback, and we're going to have good Cherry Bullock albums, and they'll give her a song to show her main vocal skills.
Yeah. They've had a few good,
I
really
think
good
there's
songs.
a lot of hope for her, even if she doesn't make it here.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that.
Like, I'm super I really adore her and would be happy to have her here, but if not, I'm also just looking forward to having another group of Cherry Bullet.
Yeah, seeing how Winge is my other favorite. If Bora doesn't make it, Winge is my emotional backup. She could knock the Shauna out of that lower section. She's she's only gone up.
She's never been a top 9.
That doesn't mean
it does mean
some of those girls can drop out. It could seriously happen. You're forgetting.
You didn't even put Shouting in your top 9, and she's like the queen who's gonna remain.
I think she'll probably be the queen forever. Yeah, but I'm not. That's not who I want.
Okay.
I mean, I don't not want her. I think she's great.
Yeah.
Especially after we got to see her doing a little variety, and she was funny and stuff. But I need a little more chaos in my. I need a little. I need the motherly, grandmotherly, wine mom energy of Bora. Winja, the chaotic queen, along with Manami being adorable. Yeso just being the Nanako, who's just overall talented in everything. Yunjin's chaos. Surichi chaos. Ririka just a cutie patootie. Shauna vocals, who's she's going to be kind of a nerd though. She's going to be kind of the butt of a lot of jokes. Minju, Shauna, Angel, and Hikaru will just be all over the place. She can do anything. So that's my fantasy group. But I will not. Whatever the group ends up being, I'm not going to have a problem with. These are your favorites, or the ones you think are going to make?
This is.
You've always liked Xiaoxing Ting, though.
This is a mixture of realistically thinking what could happen and also what I really need or want to happen, which, like, my heart. I think next time, when it comes down to us before the final episode, instead of it doing a top 9, I want to make a tier list of like how I feel about everyone, which is like, these are the tier of the people that like I can't live without. Here's the people I'm happy to have them in the group or not, and stuff like that. So like my can't live without is like Yeso and Young, and I really like the both of them.
I thought of them too. That's why I have them in mind. I just don't understand why they
Richie
haven't gotten it
and Hikaru. I like Shouting and accept her as the rank 1 reigning champion. I still like Yurina. I like
someone like a Surichi or something.
Yujin, I think her popularity is just undeniable. I don't think that we can
I like her
deny
a lot,
that. And then Chaehyun is just really strong as a candidate too. So.
I would not be surprised if 2 of those steadfast ones, like a Richie or even a Hikaru, could drop quite a bit just all of a sudden for some reason. It's not that they're dropping; it's that somebody gets above them, and so you're forgetting that people are going, "Oh crap, we need to hurry up and vote on." So
scary.
It is weird, but.
So next week we'll have those creation mission performances. Excuse me. And then we will maybe have that fan meeting content.
I don't know what that's going to be.
And then voting is still open until October 9th, so make sure to vote every single day.
Yeah.
I'm still voting for my faves.
And we know that they're doing the performances next week because they've already done the little teaser out.
Yes.
We knew they weren't going to do this last week. We were like, where's the teasers? They didn't put out teasers. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm hoping that because there's only 4 songs, they'll have some additional. I'm thinking they'll go behind the making of the song, maybe even some of the recording studio
that'd
stuff,
be great.
which would be fun. I'd love that stuff. See them go in there and who does well or who doesn't. Because a lot of times you go into the studio segments and it's surprising who does well and who does not in that section.
They might actually save the fan meeting content for the following episode.
Like a special thing.
Yeah, we have 3 more. So one more that's performances, 1 more that's eliminations, and then the final episode, which is the final episode. So I don't know.
And okay, yeah, I'm just wondering if what people think about doing, like if they do something. See, my gut instinct is that Mnet, and I'm saying this on the record right now, you can say I'm wrong later, is going to do something pretty wacky at the end. Like put on a 10th person, or we saved 3
I
people,
think that-
or we did 2 teams of 9. So everybody's in, or something wacky.
Yeah.
They're going to do something
Like
wacky.
neither of us have room for like Diane in our top 9s, and they're pushing her so hard that like maybe like that's the thing that's stressing me out right now. It's K group. Honestly, it's the K group. It's Diane, Eugen, Chaehyun, Yeso, Young. Like it's just too many.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think it's time for a K-pop group that could be more international than they've always been. I think it's fine. I don't think
Okay.
people have any problems with it.
Yeah.
No, maybe
Okay.
maybe people back in their countries, but not everybody ever be like, no, it's cool.
Okay. Well, that's it for this time. Let us know what you thought of this episode, what you think of Diane Planet 999, and who you're voting for, and how's your top 9 hopefuls
And why
doing.
did she have Merry Christmas decorations in her house?
Diane's mom. I don't know your name.
That's a pretty mom thing to do, I think.
Why do you have a Christmas decoration?
She's the type of woman you ask, and she says, I just really like Christmas, so I just leave them up all the time. I've known people
But
who
it's
do
only
that.
one decoration. It's not a lot of them.
So she just forgot to take it down?
I don't know.
Or she's just really early?
Is she late or
likes
early
Christmas.
on Christmas?
She really likes Christmas, I guess.
Probably early. I don't know.
Or she might just be a little bit, unique.
Quirky?
Quirky.
Okay. I think that's it for us today.
Have a good day, everybody.
Thanks for
Enjoy your
listening.
weekend.
Leave us a
go
comment.
go look up the leaks of that fan
Yeah.
meeting. It's really cool, but
Okay.
don't spoil it if you don't want to.
Okay.
Bye.